happening. First of all, I'm mad at all of you. I'm mad at everybody in this room. Because nobody told me this was going to be the best day of my life. I've been having so much fun. I'm in the back, like, trying to catch my breath. I'm dying, but everything's going to be okay. I'm so excited about today. I just have to warn you, we're going to have fun. And I always like giving out gifts. So somebody over here is going to win something amazing. Somebody over here is going to win something amazing. And somebody over here is going to win something amazing. So my heart is racing. Okay, so I'm trying to be calm. We're going to have a good time. I'm so excited about today. This is like one of my favorite things to talk about, just layering light. It kind of brings me back to when I was a kid, and that's kind of like how I like to do makeup. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Danessa. I've been doing makeup now for about 23 years. I'm a self-taught makeup artist, and thank you. The only reference that I had for how to do makeup was my childhood. And I still do makeup like a 3-year-old, but I'm okay with it. When I was younger, coloring was my thing, and I'm a Virgo, so it had to be like a very specific way. So when I would get my coloring book, I would like trace the edges first, and the edges had to be darker than everything else. And then I would turn the crayon on the side and lightly shade the inside. And then I would put like glue down and sprinkle like glitters on top of my color. Like, it was a thing. I still do makeup the same way. And later I learned that actually these are real concepts in art. And I want to share these things with you today because I'm always hearing people say, oh, color is scary. I'm scared to use color. Oh, I can never use a chrome flake, I can't do multi-chrome. Everybody in this room can wear everything that I'm about to show you today. So there's that. And the idea is you just have to make it work for you. You have to make it your thing. So I'm going to build up a look from easy to easier. From just do something a little light to something a bit bold, and you can figure out where you fit in between. So let me give you a few concepts first. So, and you guys probably already know this because everybody in Sephora world is amazing when it comes to beauty, when it comes to makeup. But 2 things that'll help you in deciding like what to use first, what texture to use first, what colors to use first, this will help you. So we already know what deeper shading does, and everybody talks about what deeper shading does because we use it to contour and sculpt, right? So deeper shading makes things smaller, deeper shading, camouflages, but deeper shading is also an amazing amplifier. So when you think about a color and you want to amplify, especially something that has light or something that has reflection, start with something that's deeper than your skin tone as a base. All right, and I'm going to walk you through that. So deeper shading, it is an amplifier. Also, our eyes and the camera's eyes always see what's lightest first. So that's why when we do things like highlight, even using a lighter shade of foundation or a brighter shade of concealer, it brings those areas forward. And actually, it's the first thing the human eye will see. The human eye sees what's lightest first. But when it comes to reflection, it's even more dynamic. We always see what's lightest, but also what's most reflective. So when we think about where we're going to put highlighter on our face or where we're going to put shimmery or glittery things on our eyes, always know that wherever you put it, that's where somebody's going to see first. It's where all the attention is going to go. So where everyone puts it is going to be somewhere else. Like if you have maybe hooded eyes, and you don't want to amplify the hooded shape of your eye, maybe you're going to put your shimmery situation in the inner corners of your eye, or maybe in the smaller parts of your lid that are generally covered. But if you're somebody who has lots of eye space and you're like, no, I want everybody to see all of this, then you can go crazy. You can put it anywhere you want. And when you're putting light on the face, just think about where do you want your attention to go. Light lifts. Light literally changes the dimension of the face. So if you want your cheekbones to pop, if you want your nose to be more precise, if you want your lips to pop, think using things that are reflective. And reflection can be gloss, Reflection could be a light shimmer shadow, and a reflection can be something like our chrome flakes that are crazy dynamic. So I'm going to walk through all of these steps with you so you can see them at work. And I love questions, and I hate quiet. So all the questions and all the noise will make me the happiest person in the world. All right, so here we go. See how that works? Okay. All right, I'm a bit of a nerd, so excuse me. All right, so I'm going to ground this look. And remember I said I like to carve out the edges and then fill in the blanks? Well, I'm going to carve out the edges, and I'm going to use my new Groundwork palette. Have any of you guys played with this yet? Oh, yay! That just made me super happy. I love it too, because the whole idea of this palette was to help you kind of create a guideline for your look. And sometimes it's really tricky to just go in with something that's really shiny and glittery and just start putting it on the face. So much easier to kind of trace out the shape first. And that's essentially what this palette is going to do. I'm going to do something just really easy. I'm going to frame out the shape that I want her eye to be. And I'm going to start with something that's deeper than her skin tone, because that's always the key. And actually what I'm using right now is also on her lip. I used it to line her lip. I'm using the Velvet Pomade in our new Groundwork palette. This whole palette, if you're somebody who is afraid of shadows and you're not quite sure what to do, the whole purpose of this Groundwork palette is to help build confidence. This texture, this Velvet Pomade, is super easy to use. It's super blendable. Like, you don't even have to think about it. It's impossible to make a mistake. It's the ultimate confidence builder, and that, for me, my biggest joy is when people have the confidence to play. Super easy, because I know I'm just following the natural curves of her eye, and later on I'm going to be filling in the blank with a lot of fun. How many of you have tried the Groundwork palette before? Yeah? How many of you like the idea of being able to, like, kind of create a shape first? Yeah. Me too. It's like, it just gives me a little bit more control. I like mixing the shades together too. Just now I mixed a deeper shade in because I actually wanted this crease to be a little deeper, so I mixed the shade Bark with the shade Harvest just to make a richer tone. So you can use the shades as they are, or you can mix and match. It's just actually impossible to make a mistake. Now, a concept that I learned early on in doing makeup, because I didn't go to beauty school, so I really had to kind of teach myself, I don't want to say rules, but kind of like parameters that I know would never change, right? Like, these things will always be the case. So it'll help me to, like, figure out how I want to build a look. And the one thing for sure is when you're building a look, it's always great to start with mattes, because mattes don't have any reflection, so they actually fade into the background. I'm just taking a brush with no product, and I'm just blending the edges. And what's great about it fading into the background is that whatever shape that you create is basically going to be the backdrop for everything that's reflective. So that's why I like to think of this as just like the picture frame. I'm just framing everything out. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to everything I do and say, because I love Jeopardy, and I love giving prizes, and I might ask you a question that gets you a really big prize, so stay tuned. All right, so see how easy that was to frame that out? I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom, too. I'm just going to choose these same two shades. I'm mixing the shade Harvest and the shade Bark together, and I'm just framing out the eye. For me, this is the easiest thing to do, because once you have the frame, all you're doing is filling in the blank. And you can fill it in with color, you can fill it in with texture. Everything else becomes so easy. Now, I love this texture so much because notice I'm able to do this without any fallout. One of the craziest things about doing makeup is having the skin perfectly done, and then a shimmer shadow falls on it, and you have to start all over again. So this way, this Velvet Pomade just lays the groundwork. Nothing will fall out. It gives you the opportunity to, like, easily sculpt while you're thinking about how dynamic you want to fill in the blank. All right. Easy peasy. Can you see that frame coming together? I'm also going to line her eyes because for me, whenever you want an eye to be super dramatic, get into the rim. And I'm just going to go right in using the deepest shade in the palette, Tourmaline, and I'm just going to rim her eyes. Everything in the palette is eye safe. It's designed to be used all over the face. And so this is going to make everything that I put around it look super dramatic. And remember what we said about deeper shading. Deeper shading is an amplifier. So when you have things that are maybe ethereal looking or like angel reflective type colors, having deeper shading around it that's matte creates this really beautiful contrast so everything pops. All right. Is this easy, guys? All right. Any questions? I love questions.
Hi.
Oh, hi. How are you, my love?
I'm doing good. Please tell me that you plan on making all of these singles purchasable so that we can refill these palettes and use them again. This is my first one. I bought a second one for my kit.
Oh
I'm
my
absolutely
gosh.
ecstatic about this, and I've been telling everyone.
So the answer is yes.
When?
Because you know, all of these pans are magnetic and they all come out.
Yes,
So
I've already figured it out.
I wouldn't do you like that.
God bless you.
You are absolutely right. We're definitely going, it's a refillable palette. And, okay, I'm going to stop talking because my team is going to be like, you give away everything. I'm going to stop talking, but there's more to come.
Hi, Danessa. I love you.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Okay, wait. So, question: does the deeper shading concept apply to like foundation? You know, when some people use deeper
100%.
foundation
100%.
and then highlight with concealer.
Absolutely. Like everything that I talk about, those concepts work, whether you're talking about complexion products, whether you're doing your blush, you're using highlighters, whether you're doing the eye, those concepts never change. So 100%. That's a great question. I'm just going to take that same shade and I'm just going to carve out a little bit more shape here.
Danessa.
Hello, my love.
Hey.
Hey.
First of all, thank you for being you and for pouring into us the way that you do because you don't have to do that. So
I appreciate
I want to say I really appreciate what you
Thank
do
you.
for us.
That really means a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
Secondly, this is off topic, but underpainting. I had
Yes.
a question during the class that you did on your birthday,
Yes.
but I didn't get an answer. When you're underpainting, when you go in with your complexion products, are you applying it over what you underpainted
Yes.
or around the underpainting?
That's such
Can
a
you
good
cover it?
question. You can do it around. It really just depends on how intense you did your underpainting. Sometimes people use that concept, and you know the great thing about underpainting is that you're kind of almost finished when you finish underpainting, right? And so if you did it very light, you can kind of just fill in the blanks with blush and things like that. But essentially, it's really creating lights and shadows and then putting your complexion over the whole thing, right? And so it's all happening underneath your complexion. But there's no wrong way to do it. Okay. You're welcome.
Hi, Danessa.
Hi, where are you? Hi, gorgeous.
Hey, I love your makeup, whatever you have. Like, everything is, I'm just so obsessed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, that wasn't even a question. That was
No, the question is coming now.
Okay, here we go.
So when you contour the eyes, do you like to contour before, like open eyes or closed eyes?
Oh, that's such a good question. And it really just depends on the eye shape. For me, I have to do my eyes open because I have all these folds of skin and it's hooded, right? And so it's important when you're building an eye look that you bring the color over any folds of skin or any hoods because no one's going to see it, right? In order for it to impact the shape and lift, it has to go above that area. So it's easier to see if you do it with your eyes open. You kind of like put a dot or something right where the color needs to be. Then you can close your eyes and shade it in. But that's a really good question. Yeah. These are great questions. All right. Well, here's the frame that I have so far. And it's so easy. Let me get that brush hair away. And now that I have my frame, I mean, the frame is kind of making it almost done, right? All right, so now how are we going to fill in the blanks? Well, I want to fill in the blank with a lot of different finishes just so you can get a sense of like how to layer. Now, the thing when we're layering light, the thing to keep in mind is that the more dramatic the light, that's the last thing that you're going to see, right? And since that's where all the attention is going to go, when you have these big, dynamic, shimmery, like light-reflecting moments, save those to the very end, right? So if you look at all the colors that you're going to use, just see how much reflection each one has. And if it's just like a soft shimmer, use that first, right? And the more dynamic the light is in what you're using, that's how you choose which one you're going to use first, which one you're going to use second. Does that make sense? Because you don't want the most dominant thing to overpower everything that's going to come after. So you just kind of build it like building blocks. I'm going to use that whole concept.
Uh-oh.
I'm so excited about this. You have no idea. First of all, let me just say this. There were a bunch of people who were like, oh my God, I never got Lightwork 4. Who didn't get Lightwork 4? Who was like mad they didn't run and go get Lightwork 4? Who was the maddest that they didn't get Lightwork 4? You're the maddest? Prove it, prove it. Prove to me that you were the maddest. Were you the maddest? Were you the absolute maddest? You the maddest? You the maddest? All right. I don't want you to be mad. I was so in love with Lightwork 4. But I said it was limited edition, so I can't bring it back because I don't lie. But you know what? You know who I want to have Lightwork 4? You. It doesn't exist in the world. That came out of my private stash, out of my safe. But there are 3 people in the room who are going to get Lightwork 5. Introducing Lightwork 5. She's a beauty. And that whole concept that we just talked about having multiple layers of reflection, that's what we incorporated into Lightwork 5. So you're gonna go from angelic halo toppers. That's our soft energy here at the top. We have grounding energy at the bottom, just really hyper reflective, but more intense, rich color. And then we just go crazy in the middle. And all you have to do is travel down the rows, and you have these beautiful color stories. Or you can go across the rows because there's different energy behind each row. But this is called the I Am palette, and it's all about affirmations. So all I ask is that before you use anything, you say the word I am, and then you say the name of the shade out loud. So I am resilient. I am centered. I am strong. All of those. All right, I'm going to get in trouble, so let me keep going. All right. So I'm going to use something in our soft energy. I'm going to use it to kind of like create like a little halo underneath the brow. So I'm not putting anything else there, so I can just go over and just create this really beautiful like shimmery light there. Now this whole palette is designed for the eye and the face. So I'm going to show you how I use it on the eye and the face today. But since I have that backdrop, it's really easy for me to see where to fill in the blanks and place this color. So you see soft energy is like really soft and ethereal. And if you're somebody who likes it soft, you can kind of just put your finger in there and swipe it on your eye and have this really beautiful reflexive color. If you want something super dynamic, you can layer something deeper than your skin tone across the lid and then top any of these on top. Make sense? See, she's like, I got it, duh. We just have to go back to when we're 3. All right, and I'm going to do a little bit more. And before I do that, I'm going to lean back into that whole concept of starting with something that has depth to like layer light on top of. It doesn't always have to be a matte shadow. You can do it with something that's reflective, right? If you do it with something that's deeper than your skin tone, you really see the impact. If you do something that's close to your skin tone, you're just gonna get that angel kind of ethereal look all the time. I'm gonna use our Twin Flames. Are you guys familiar with Twin Flames? She's my favorite. I'll give you a look at what this shade that I'm using. So these are nice and shifty. This shifts from bronze to blue to purple. This is gonna be my base, okay? This is so easy. If you're somebody who's like afraid of shadow, you're gonna look like a pro. All you have to do is swipe, that's it. And all I'm doing is filling in the blank. I'm not doing anything scary. I'm just going right over the lid and filling in the blanks. Is this simple?
We have a question. We have a question there. She's dying to ask this question.
Don't die, just ask me the question.
Hi, Danessa.
Hi.
Over here.
Hi, my love.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Just a quick question. Of the two, for the putty or the shadow, which do you prefer?
It's not a preference, and that's a great question. Well, let me just say that putty texture took 2 years to develop because it really was designed to wear beautifully on every area of the face. So it's a brow pomade, it's a cheek contour, it's a shadow base, it's a lip liner, it's all of the things. So if I had to choose, that is like the most innovative finish in that palette, and it really gives you the opportunity to sculpt and draw with it. But the Shape and Fix powders that are in there are super unique because they have that ingredient Upsolite, which you know I'm obsessed with. I used it in our blurring balm powder. That's actually what Jasmine is wearing today as a base. Her whole entire base is blurring balm powder, shade 6 and shade 8.5. And we primed her with some glow serum. So I love them both for different reasons. All right, now with the Twin Flames, you see how I just filled in the blank, and all I'm doing, you can do this with your finger or a brush, but I'm just taking it and blurring the edges. Now this formula is a long wear waterproof formula, so once it sets, she's not moving anywhere. And all I'm doing, I already have my frame, so you see how I'm just blending inside of the frame? Is this easy? Can you do that? And look how beautiful. So instead of using like a matte shadow, using something like this as a base when you're building like a chromey look is kind of super dynamic. And it's going to make everything you put on top pop even more. So this is reflective, but what we're going to put on top is even juicier. So I'm just making sure that both sides match. I'm not one for symmetry sometimes. Don't judge me if it's crooked. All right, I think we're close enough. But you can see when she turns from side to side, can you see like? All right. You can do left. Okay, all right, and I'm just gonna continue to build on top. So question, somebody over here, tell me something that you've learned today. Anything.
Hi, Danessa. It's an honor to be here. I'm a huge fan. But what I found most interesting was using like brown mats and then filling it out with color. I didn't see that was something possible, but I also wanted to ask you, like, how would you layer like a look like that with your flakes? Because
stay tuned, ma'am. Stay tuned.
Because I have the Lightwork 4, which is amazing, but I always struggle with like the pressed flakes and how to put them correctly in the eye and how to layer them into an eye look. So I just wanted to know, like, how do you do it?
I got you. All right. I love when people ask questions. So you know what I'm going to do? Oh, there's a bag full of some chrome-tastic magic in that bag. Thank you for asking that perfect question and telling me something that you learned. That's for you. All right. So you guys see what I did? I tapped a little of my finger into this shade here and tapped it right in the center, and it just gave it this really delicious pop. I want to show you how you can use these things all over the face as well. I'm going to put on a little blush so you can really see. Have you guys seen this shade, It Girl? All right. I hate when only one person wins something. All right, somebody all the way in the back with the hijab. Yes, tell me, what did you learn today?
Well, hi guys.
Hey.
Yeah, it's my first time learning that you can use a metallic to build a base.
Yeah.
So usually I like put the metallic on top. So I'm like, this is such a wow, like, look, it looks so good.
You know what? Go ahead. Oh, keep going.
No, that's it. It looks beautiful. So it was like a very big moment for me.
You're like, don't
okay,
lose your
that's
thought.
it. No, that's it.
Well, my thought was, I have a goodie bag for you.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right, I love this shade of It Girl. I'm using it on her cheek. This is a new shade. It's in our new Blurring Buddies that's going to be available all doors at Sephora. So you get the blush tone, and then you also get our Universal Blurring Balm Powder. All right, who else in the center here? Tell me something that you learned today. There we go.
Hi, Danessa.
Hi, my love.
Something I learned was that when you, it's better to start with like softer glitters and then add like more harsh glitters so that it doesn't hide them.
Exactly. So you get to see everything that's underneath, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Guess
I didn't
what?
know that before.
You have a whole bag of goodies to play with this concept. All right. I think as I finish up this look and add some on the face, I think I want everybody to win something. You guys have to work with me, though. If I pass it down, if I give you a handful of things, will you pass it down the road real fast? I'm so excited about everything that's coming for holiday. I'm excited for you guys to play with this palette. I'm excited for you guys not to be afraid to play with reflective color. You can put it on in a very sophisticated way. You can make it fun and fairy-like. You can kind of give it what you want to give it. I'm using that same shade that I used on the brow bone. I'm using it as a cheek highlight. And you can do this all over the face. And as a last tap, just because somebody asked, we'll throw on a little chrome flake in the center of the eye. Are you guys happy you came? I'm happy you came. I'm going to add a little bit of our chrome flakes right here in the inner corner. And if you know chrome flakes, you know that they sparkle. So because this is the most dynamic, and for the person who asked, you need so little, all you need to do is tap the tiniest bit. Just tap it right on top. The new palette is going to be launching as an app preview on October 6th, and it's going to be available to everybody on October 7th. So don't be mad at me. When it launches, just go buy it, because it's limited edition. And I won't be bringing her back, but I'm going to make sure that I'm always creating really fun products for you guys to enjoy. I appreciate you all so much for hanging with me. Did everybody get a goodie? Everybody got something? Yes? Did everybody give it a good swipe? Are you excited? I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me.